A giant prehistoric shark is on the loose and everybody is fucked. Let's do it. Meg opens up with our main character, Jonas, who is a rescue diver on this deep sea rescue mission. As he and his team are in the submarine looking for survivors, the sub is suddenly smashed into by this unseen giant creature. So Jonah gets back to the main submarine and he hears two of his team members calling for help because the submarine that they were just in is flooding. And he makes the decision to leave them behind because if not, everybody else on the sub is going to die. One of the people with them is this guy, Dr. Heller, who is absolutely infuriated that he made the decision to leave his team behind. Cut to some time later to this underwater research facility and we meet Jack Morris, who is this billionaire. He's there because he is backing this project by Dr. Zhang. Dr. Zhang's daughter, Su Yin, is an oceanographer and she works in the research institute as well, and she has a young daughter named Mei Ying. Dr. Zhang has this theory that the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, is actually deeper than people think. What people think is the bottom is actually this thermocline layer, and we can go beneath that. So they have this team down there in a sub to see if that's true, and this team consists of Lori, Toshi, and this guy, The Wall. Sure enough, they find that Dr. Zhang was right. They are actually able to go deeper below this thermocline layer, but as they're down there, their ship is suddenly attacked and hit by this massive creature. Lori's last words before they lose communication with the station is Jonas was right. So Zhang and this other guy, Mac, decide that they need to go get Jonas because he is the only person that would ever attempt a rescue mission at this depth. So they find him and he has since given up rescue diving because of what happened the last time. He agrees to it when he finds out his ex-wife Lori is the one that is piloting this sub and she said that Jonas was right. The sub is rapidly losing oxygen, so Suyin decides that she's going to go down there to try to save them, but as she is getting through the thermocline, she is wrapped in this giant squid's tentacles and it almost crushes her sub. She is saved because the squid is then eaten by this giant megalodon shark. Eventually, Jonas gets down there. He tells Suyin to go back up because her ship is damaged, and he manages to get into the other ship to save the others. Lori and The Wall make it into the ship, but then they see the Meg coming towards them, and Toshi goes back in and sacrifices himself so the others can escape. So the crew understands that they encountered a megalodon down there. Jonas is like, fucking told you so. Heller apologizes to him because he thought he had like pressure-induced psychosis and that's why he left these people, but no, he knew it was a Meg. And then Mei Ying looks out one of the tanks one day and sees that the Meg has followed them. It made its way through the thermocline by following their heat pattern. They follow the Meg out to this area where it attacked and brought down a bunch of boats. And Jonas jumps in the water to stick a tracker on this thing and almost gets eaten in the process. Then Suyin goes down in this tank with the plan to inject and kill the Meg with poison because they know that this thing is not safe in the ocean. Meg almost swallows the tank in the process, but Jonas is able to save Suyin and she injects the Meg and it dies. They're celebrating, they killed it, everybody's safe, they have the Meg's body hanging up, Wall is in the water, and suddenly a second, even bigger megalodon jumps up and eats that megalodon's body as well as the Wall. Dr. Heller sacrifices himself to save Jax, one of the engineers, so he gets eaten. Dr. Zhang gets injured in the process, and on his way to rescue, he dies in his daughter's arms. So back at the station, everybody's obviously distraught, and Morris tells everybody that he's alerted the Chinese government, they're gonna come out and find the thing and kill it. It turns out this motherfucker never alerted anybody because he wants to kill the Meg himself, so he goes out with this group of mercenaries that night to find it, and they think they kill it, but they actually kill a whale instead. And Morris gets eaten by the Meg in the process. The team eventually finds out that Morris lied and they're gonna have to kill this thing themselves. Morris was able to get a tracker on the Meg before he died, and they break into his system to see where the Meg is going and see that it's going directly for this very crowded beach. It attacks a bunch of people and goes after this little dog, but don't worry, the dog lives. The crew is able to lure it back towards them by playing whale noises underwater. Suyin and Jonas both go underwater in separate submersibles and try to shoot the Meg with this torpedo. Meg almost eats Jonas's submersible, but he's able to escape. He takes a harpoon and shoves it into the Meg's eye, which ultimately kills it. Jonas watches as a bunch of other regular sharks swarm and feed on the Meg's dead corpse. We also see that a baby Meg comes out of the Meg's mouth as it's dying, which leads us into the second movie. The remaining crew that survived celebrates and the movie ends.